Live from the City of Angels, Erick Weber here in the MMT chair. Midnight Movie Talk is live coast to coast and across the globe as we have an exciting night, a tight stream tonight. We have The Flash Reacts. And whenever we talk about a film straight out of the theater, we always make sure to mention, help me out everybody, this is not a review. Sorta, but no, it's not a review. This is simply reaction to the film. Here it is, straight out of the theater tonight at the Grove. Huge crowd, Turnaway crowd. So many people at this screening tonight from Warner Brothers that they had to turn away hundreds of people from this film. And if you have any questions as to if this is going to be a big film, what I just told you should answer them, but this will answer them even more when I read to you my reaction sent moments ago. The Flash is DC's No Way Home. It's a gigantic audience pleaser led by Ezra Miller's near immaculate dual performance. It's really all the nostalgia you could ever want and more in a film, from this film in particular. And after seeing The Flash tonight, it's really difficult to imagine a DCU going forward without Ezra Miller. This is going to be a huge film. This is a summer blockbuster bullseye. Okay, this is massive. This film gives you every feel you could possibly want and more. The first reactions out of Vegas turn out to be pretty damn accurate. This has everything and more. And when you watch a film like The Flash and you have certain expectations, you know, you're in for, we've seen the trailer. We know Michael Keaton's in it. We know Supergirl. We know all the things that are here, but there are still some surprises to be had. And tonight we will not be discussing those. Whenever we do an instant reaction out of the theater, we never include spoilers. You're always safe here at MMT. But what I want to drill down on here tonight is the fact that Ezra Miller, we know he's a troubled young man, but we also know that he is a towering talent, and he carries this film because he has to. He is in virtually every single frame of The Flash in a dual performance. Now, when you go back and you look at Ezra Miller, for me, it was Perks of a Wallflower. When you watch that film, you see him leap off the screen and announce, I am someone of tremendous importance going forward in the acting world. And tonight, after watching The Flash, I think what we're going to see here out of Warner Brothers is a very difficult situation that they may not have anticipated. When this film outperforms, and trust me, it is going to outperform in a very big way, Warner Brothers, down the street from me here tonight, the MMT Studios, they are going to have long conversations about whether they are going to keep Ezra Miller in place as the Flash going forward. This film is going to present a major conundrum for Zaslav and crew down the street. They're going to have to figure out, can we keep Ezra? Because after seeing The Flash here tonight, I can't imagine a DCU produced by James Gunn and Peter Safran without Ezra Miller as the Flash. This man carries so much talent, yet we know is so troubled. And I know this has been a major conversation point. How has Ezra kept his job, right? How is he not fired? Well, one of the answers for that was that the film was largely complete when a lot of this went down. The Flash was largely intact, so there's really no other way to go than just to finish it and get it out there. And as we've noted over the past several months, Ezra's kept his nose clean. He's not stealing liquor bottles in Vermont. That's a good thing for Warner Brothers. And then tonight, when you watch the range of emotion that Ezra Miller possesses and imparts upon his character here, you see someone who just makes the film that much stronger. I mean, just really raises the level across the board. And whenever we evaluate a film here at Midnight Movie Talk, we always are looking for certain elements of films that raise the bar 1, 2, 3 more levels up. This performance by Ezra Miller is everything to the film, and that's not to discount Michael Keaton. We know he's there. This is not a spoiler, me telling you that Michael Keaton is in this film, but there's a lot of Michael Keaton. So it's very much, like I said here in the tweet reaction, it's very much of a No Way Home situation. This is not going to be something that you go to see and you feel ripped off. This wasn't enough of Michael Keaton. This wasn't enough of Supergirl. This wasn't enough of Michael Shannon. On and on we go without giving away any of the surprises that are still in store for you. And I think that is where we really go back to this film being a huge hit in 3 weeks time. It's out on the 15th of June. So we're roughly 3 weeks away from this film dropping. Interesting to note here tonight, the screening that I was just in is not finished. There is at least one additional scene or part of a scene that needs to be completed. Also, no end credit scene. The film essentially ended tonight with this, and then you're going to see the finished version here on the 15th. But the film I saw tonight is The Flash, okay? We're talking about a very small thing they need to add on the end, and it'll just make it that much better, okay? There's a lot of great humor here. There's some outstanding Back to the Future jokes, okay? I mean, really good. And there's really not much to discuss here from a negative standpoint. I mean, maybe the length is a little bit much on the back end when we start getting into the major battle scenes, but not enough, because this speaks to Andy Muschietti as a director. What you see with Andy, and you saw it with It going back to Mama, what you see with him is a very grounded director, even when working with a heavy CGI film like this. And what I see tonight that I really like is a film that feels lived in. It does not feel like it is green screened everywhere. This feels like I am actually in a world inhabited by the Flash and everybody else that you'll come across in this film in the multiverse, okay? It's about alternate realities and a ton of emotion. The finish of emotion in this film is what I really, I'll tell you, I don't tear up that often, but I have to admit that I did at the end of The Flash. And if I am at the point where I'm about ready to start weeping openly, you know that the director has accomplished the mission at hand and done not just that, but more so. So when we look at this film going forward from a box office perspective, you take whatever number you've been told from Warner Brothers and the early tracking, and you throw it straight in the dumpster. It's trashed, because the film that I saw tonight is going to be a massive audience hit. The crowd tonight at the Grove was oohing and aahing the same way they did during No Way Home and what happened with that film. Okay, this is going to cause James Gunn, Peter Safran, Zaslav, all of them to sit down and re-examine the future of the DCU. Whether they've already said they're not, doesn't matter. Because the film I just watched changed everything. It all goes out the window, and it's all back in play. At least it should be. Because going forward, you really, after watching The Flash, can't imagine a world without Ezra Miller in this DCU. Let's get to the comments here on this Monday night, the rare stream. It's a tight stream tonight. If you want to get in, you got to do a super chat because I'm not going to get to everyone. This is only going to be a 20-minute max stream. That means we have less than 10 minutes on the Flash stream here tonight. Again, one more time for Warner Brothers and anybody who has a question. This is not a review. This is simply the Flash Reacts here on Midnight Movie Talk this Monday night. Let's get to the comments, and I do see a super chat right here from Sham K. Good to see you, sir. Andy Machete, how's the direction? Should Gunn keep him in the roster? Yes, 1,000% yes. Again, it speaks to his grounded abilities. When you look at it, okay, and the fantastical nature of a lot of that film, it still feels very tangential, right? And so does this film. And you go back, hopefully you guys have seen Mama. If you haven't, you need to watch Mama. But when you see his progression as a filmmaker, I want to see Andy doing more DC for sure. And even just more film, okay? This man has a ton of talent. This is stronger than either of the It films by a mile, okay? And I think, just like everyone, the more they do something, they get better at it typically, right? You learn from your past and you build on the things that you already were good at and you get better. And that's what Machete is doing here with The Flash. Great super chat to start out the night. Yes, I apologize. Ezra is they, them. That would be a big mistake by me. This is not a review. This is absolutely not a review. Also, No Way Ezra Stays. This is pretty much the end of the Snyderverse. DCU will completely reboot this. Jezebel, listen, you haven't seen the film. Until you've seen the film, you need to understand that whatever was said doesn't matter. Because if you're going to trash what I just watched, and you're going to reboot everything that I just sat through, that is a colossal error. Now, Ezra Miller has done some things we've discussed many times on Midnight Movie Talk. The choking of the woman in the bar in, Iceland? Right in the beginning of the pandemic. The reason that he got through that's because no one was paying attention at that point. It was like April of 2020. The man has issues, but there's no denying the talent that Ezra Miller possesses and the performance that he gives here in The Flash makes Warner Brothers rethink and re-strategize everything going forward. If it does not, then they are doing it wrong. And here's why I know that is going to happen. This film will outperform. You can lock it in. It's going to happen. And Hollywood runs by one number one golden rule. What is that? If you make money, you keep doing what you're doing. Why do you think we have 10 Fast and Furious movies? Because they made money and they kept doing what they're doing. So now, when you wait for this film here in 3 weeks, when it pops bigger than everyone expected, and when it gets an A cinema score, and word of mouth is through the roof, and the film ends up putting up, let's say, 800 million worldwide, let's just say that happens, everything is back on the board. Nothing that was told before has to happen. It's very much like The Flash, going back in time to reset the future. This film has the power to make James Gunn and Peter Safran change their minds. And if it doesn't happen, at least the conversation, then the two of them have already failed at their first job with the DCU. What extent do you think Michael Keaton Batman will carry the box office? I just put a number of 800 million worldwide. Listen, whatever number you had in your head before, And trust me, the studios always lowball this number. Remember this. Whenever they give you that initial tracking, it's always under. Look at this past weekend. Fast X 57. We said it was going to go 72, ends up at 67. Better than 57, little under 72, but we knew that it was going to do better than the 57. So if they're saying The Flash is coming in at 60 for an opening, no. Take it at 90 up, okay? Because people are curious about this film. I put it forth in a tweet earlier before I even saw the film. I don't care what anyone's telling you. People want to see this film. Look at the crowd. Let me pull up the crowd of people at the Grove tonight. It was a Turnaway crowd, and I'm not talking about a Turnaway of 50 or 100. It was a Turnaway of roughly 150, 200 people did not get in to see The Flash tonight at the Grove. This is just a portion of the crowd that was upstairs at the Grove. The rest of it goes all the way back, in this direction, all the way back. There's so many people that did not get into this film tonight. And you're telling me that this film is not going to pop bigger than you've been told based on this crowd that showed up on a Monday night to watch a film nobody wants to see? Of course they want to see it because they know Michael Keaton's in it. They know Zod's back. They know there's more surprises to be had. Supergirls, there's all kinds of stuff that you do not know that is in the film that I'm not going to ruin here tonight because we don't ever ruin films. That's the number one law of MMT. When we discuss a film, we do it on the outside, the periphery, right? We don't go straight to the heart because that would ruin the film for you, and I don't want to do that. So in 3 weeks, when you see this film, you're not going to be like, oh my God. Gunn is on the phone with Muschietti as we speak. Give him Batman, give him Justice League. After watching the film, you have to have him on speed dial. You have to say, Andy, listen, I don't know what you want to do next, but whatever you do want to do, we're down for. Right? Whatever you want to do, you have the green light for. That is what Andy has earned with the film that I just watched. Felicity. The media is not going to know how to handle this film. They want to support Ezra, but they absolutely hate Zaslav. Here's what I want to mention. This is a great comment because it's a big-time problem that I have with a lot of people. You can dislike David Zaslav all you want. I know he got booed at Boston University when he was there doing the graduation speech. So, listen, you can dislike Zaslav. I understand maybe why, okay? But here's the thing. We need to put that all aside so that when we watch a film, and this is my number one pointer for anybody who's looking to get into film criticism or evaluation, you have to put all of that out of your mind. It needs to be left on the front seat of your car before you head into the theater. None of that matters other than what we're watching in front of us on the screen, okay? So forget Zaslav. Forget Gunn. Forget Safran. Forget all of it. Doesn't matter. The film is great. And as such, just approach it from that angle. The film works. Therefore, none of the other stuff matters. The extracurricular stuff does not matter. Zaslav will probably get paid an additional $100 million in stock options. The writers get peanuts. The writers' strike still going on, no question about it. Listen, I can't really get into the Zaslav thing too much here tonight. I want to mention it, and that's it. But we're about done here. I only have a few more minutes, and we're going to be out of here. That's it. You got the hits, runs, and errors here tonight. This film is very, very strong. Okay, surprise, surprise. The DCU film is good. It is, and I think this is. As we get ready to wrap here tonight, a few more comments, then we're going to wrap it. Here's what I want to say: is if you were to ask me where this film ranks in just comic book movies that I've seen over the past, let's go back 3+ years. Let's go post Endgame, CBMs. This is right there neck and neck with No Way Home. Those are the two best CBMs that we have had. And by me saying that about this, a DC film, we, in my estimation, aside from obviously Nolan's Batman trilogy, we're looking at one of the very best DCU films. It's a top 3 DC film, no question. And when we discuss it as that, This is why I'm telling you that everything is about to be re-questioned and re-strategized down the street at Warner Brothers after what I sat through in The Flash. It's that strong. Gunn, Safran, you gotta rethink everything going forward. And you've got to, and I know this is going to be a hot button topic, but we've got to figure out a way to keep Ezra Miller in the Flash suit based on what I just saw. That's going to do it here tonight for MMT. It's a tight stream. The replay's available for you. And we'll be back later this week with the Little Mermaid reaction, more than likely Thursday. Check the community tab as always here on MMT. Really appreciate your being here. If you've never been here to MMT before, please like, subscribe, and all that before you hit the road. We'll see you back here later this week for the Little Mermaid. Until then, live from Los Angeles, Erick Weber saying good night. Get ready for The Flash. It kicks ass.